Yeah, Luv Bug is with me. I'm delighted to welcome June, Max, and Magella. You're welcome, guys. And Luv Bug forever, I think, is a good a good battle cry, let's say.
Right, should have a banner here.
Yeah, everyone for Luv Bug. Max, where did it all start?
1977. I've had plenty of time to think about this.
Yeah.
That's not today or yesterday. Well, basically, we were a five-piece that formed early in the year. Four of us from Newry, actually. Jerry Barnum was one of them, give him a plug. Angela McLaughlin, and myself and Magella.
Yeah.
And there was a girl from Portadown, and Jerry Cosgrove too, Newry man as well.
Yeah. And what were the circumstances of the formation of it? Did you all know each other and were you performing sort of on a very amateur basis, and then you thought one day, wow, we're going to do something big here?
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you remember the meeting at which that happened? Well, when you gathered together in the kitchen or wherever?
Well, we were messing about, basically. You know, we were just doing small local gigs. And then we decided, maybe we want to push this a wee bit further. And we got ourselves a manager.
Yeah.
Michael McGill.
Yes, Michael, of course.
Yeah, from Warren
And Michael's with you to this very day, Julie.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good continuum, if you like.
Unusual, isn't it?
It is for people to be so close for so long and to be at ease with each other.
Exactly,
you know.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you started off, what was it that made you feel we can take this further? Who was it said to you, you guys are good?
Well, that wasn't the sort of thing that was said. We just were doing it for fun.
Really?
We didn't know where it was going to go.
Yeah.
It might have went nowhere, but we just loved playing the music and playing the songs of the time.
Yeah.
And it just gradually fell into place, really.
And it's still for fun.
Still,
course, yeah.
Well, that's the thing that comes across in Luv Bug, because you're townsfolk with us, city folk now. We meet you every day of the week. We know that there is an underpinning of musical excellence there, and that you're great people in what you do, but you disguise it very well. You're humble people. You're enjoying it.
Oh. Absolutely.
What can you say? Not today or yesterday, anyway.
No. It's not. Do you sense the past? It was 86, I was going to say the World Cup. It was 86, the Eurovision.
Well, it was our World Cup.
Yeah, that's true.
86 for the Eurovision, yeah. You were the lead singer that day.
That's right, that was amazing.
Tell me about that evening. Tell me about the whole Eurovision experience, June.
Well, after we did say a prayer, and then we got on stage and we just did it like it was for a handful of people. You don't think about how many people are watching.
Would it have been in the millions, in the tens of millions?
300 million.
300 million on that occasion you were singing to. And did you have the feeling that it was lifting off, that you were going well with the song?
It was the feeling of this is just the one shot you get at it.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
Get out there, enjoy it as much as you can, and
yeah. Who was backing you that? There was a couple of girls there as well, is that right?
No,
were
it was just
with
ourselves.
Just yourselves,
yes, yeah. Everyone was doing backing vocals.
Yeah, you were all, and you were good at that because you'd practiced that over the years.
Well, we also had the RTE orchestra, which was absolutely phenomenal. We'd never played with an orchestra before, you know, so it was breathtaking, absolutely.
But I mean, breathtaking, but also possibly frightening. Or no fear.
The adrenaline took over. I think it was more, you were more scared in the rehearsals than you were. When it came to the actual performance on the night, it just went like, boom, and gone.
It was gone.
Yeah.
And then came the wait for the marks. And remind me of how it worked. You were on stage, and you were marked immediately, were you? On what, each country? It was the end they came to you.
Yeah.
And at what point did you realise you were doing moderately well?
When we started to get a couple of 12s.
12s?
I think we got 4 12s, didn't we?
4 12s.
I don't remember what countries do you?
I think it was some of the Scandinavian
Yes.
countries.
Wow, they loved you. Yeah.
And Spain.
And Spain went in there
I
as
think
well.
So, yeah.
So the eventual placement was, remind me now, in the thing. How well did you do?
We were fourth.
Fourth was, you should have been maybe higher than that. If there was a certain
Well,
calculation.
we were very happy about that.
Yeah, because
ourselves.
you'd done remarkably well, and
we were very proud of that.
of course you were.
The songs were very good. Rowan, you know, even the songs that came first, second, third, they were just incredible.
So it was a proud place to be, number 4.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, the experience of coming home to Newry, you were fated for that. That was the beginning of, maybe not the beginning, but it was certainly a continuum of Newry loving you.
Oh, surely.
Newry loves Luv Bug.
Well, all our relatives met us at the airport.
Wow.
All the relatives, there must have been 50 or 60, travelled up to the airport, didn't
Yeah,
they?
actually, I think Dublin Airport put on a room,
Yeah.
a reception for us as
Yeah.
well. It was very nice.
Yeah. And the notion of, it was almost you were immediately VIPs.
Wow.
Well, we never like to
Didn't
think of
think about
ourselves like that anyway.
Yes, that modesty coming through again.
We got great support from the Newry people. And the
Yeah.
newspapers were full of well-wishers. Some shop windows had, you know, good luck.
But you see,
Luv
you were
Bug.
bringing us stuff that we never had before. If, there was, what was the name of the girl who used to sing? She lived in Newry, Rogers, Clodagh Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
She was the only one before you who made any impact in the big world
That's
of
true.
music.
That's true,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. How would you categorize your music at the time? How would you describe it?
We were.
It was pop. Pop,
Pop.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're taking the mood of the time and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and delivering the songs.
yeah, it was the 80s, you know, so.
Yeah.
Mostly covers, but then we did start to write.
Yeah.
And we did get an album together, and with a few songs off that did very well in the Irish charts. And got bits. I wish the World Wide Web had been more popular
for goodness
then.
sake. It
But
would
then
have
we
been-
got a chance to showcase all of our own material too. We backed up Paul Young in the RDS.
Yeah.
What year was that? Was that?
I think that was 80. I think that was
was
the year before.
before Eurovision.
I think that was the biggest concert we ever
Yeah,
did. Many
it was,
people,
that was amazing.
6,000 I
Yeah.
think, in the one concert.
And that was all our own material and that.
Your own material,
It was
yeah.
really good.
Who's the songwriter among you?
Well, we all did a bit of
You-
songwriting.
You say we all, and June
We
says
actually
Max,
had a
and she
couple of
points to you.
songs. Well, she pointed at me because I wrote a few on my own, and
Yeah.
Q and I wrote a few together. Q has written songs on his own. Ricky Myler was a very good songwriter as well. He was
Yeah.
the guy from Oma. He was in the band. But we all did a couple of songs as 5 people.
Yeah.
What was called Burn It Up was
That's
one of them,
right.
wasn't
No,
it?
that was Hugh, I think.
No, it was the whole lot of
Burn
them.
It Up was a lot, yeah.
I love the
Great.
toing and froing here. Well, you're remembering.
not
You're sort of going to the
It's
shelf.
mind-boggling.
You're going to the shelf of
Yeah.
We're
memories.
getting old.
But it's great. No,
getting old.
no, you're not. Not at all. Not at all. But in the business, what were you know, if you can remember one of the songs you wrote, Max, what was perhaps the motivation, or what was the technique of writing it?
Well, there wasn't any real structure. We had been doing covers, so we learned a lot from how to put songs together, or we thought we did anyway. And it was a bit of a struggle at first because you weren't used to really creating stuff. So we went, we can do that too, you know. So we just got bogged into the studio and got together and got a few lyrics together, and then I think we started to feel that, you know, we were getting better and better as time went on. And I think that some of the songs we wrote individually and together, I think they turned out fairly good. You know, we were fairly happy with them, and they're still on our albums, so they're forever.
There forever is right. You kind of chose. Newry has a funny effect on people. It holds you. You guys wouldn't have been happy about packing your bags and going to New York to be on the music business, or would you?
Well, we
never
might
know.
have done it for a while.
Back then we might have.
Did you consider it when you were at your height in those days?
Well, we did play other countries.
Oh, I know you did.
You know, and-
But I mean, you always came back to Newry.
Oh, yeah.
And was the,
Well, we would have
because you're each
jumped at any
individual
chance.
you're Newry families, for goodness sake.
Oh, surely.
And maybe that's what was holding you here.
It's funny, my mother said to me last week, she said, I love my town of Newry, she says.
course she
And
does.
I was stopped by a radio crew in Hill Street one day and asked about my hometown. And she said, I just said to them, I love my hometown and I wouldn't leave it for
It's
anybody.
not love, but we all know that feeling.
Yeah.
I found when I was in the Navy, I was in the middle of the South China Sea, standing on top of the Monkey Island on the ship, and watching her burying her bows in the ocean ahead of me, and then washing her face so she can back up out. And I was just thinking the Newry market, it'll be great to get home again on a Thursday, you know, all that sort of thing. Yeah. So where did the music start for you? You will take each of you in turn. Yourself, Magella.
Oh, well, the music started from when I was 4 or 5 years of age.
Yeah. And
Really. Sorry?
how did it start at 4 or
I
5?
think it started, believe it or not, watching the Beatles
Wow.
on Top of the
Yeah.
Pops.
Yeah.
And that's really where I got this kick. And then I discovered that I actually like drums better than anything else.
Really?
And I used to watch Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
Just, you know, and this really, he really inspired me.
And
So,
I bet your parents were delighted as you started playing drums in the house.
Well, no, that's another story. But my mum did get me the first little drum kit.
Yeah.
And I just used to practice away with that. And when I was at school, I used to just sit with a ruler and a pen and bang away on things.
Yeah. June, when did it start for you and how did it start?
Apart from breaking into Max's record collections through
Wow.
the years.
Yeah. Your brother and sister, of course.
Yeah. Just always loved music, singing.
You did at school,
Yeah, bits in school.
But there was more than music because there was a dramatic thing about you. You were. It was an act you were putting on. You were a group that acted on stage as well as sung on stage.
Yeah, well, it's a performance.
Performance.
Yeah.
Where did the performing come from?
Just an enjoyment of music and being able to put it across the best way I possibly could.
Wow.
Our mum was a good singer and she would get up and sing the songs and all, wouldn't she?
Now we're getting to the truth.
Everything from David Bowie to The Sound of Music, probably.
Wow. Yeah. And you had the record collection ahead of anybody else in the house.
Yeah. Well, I'm a bit older, you say, I have to admit that.
But where were you? Can you remember the first record ever you bought?
I can't, I have to say.
There's one I remember. I was away, we were camping in scouting, and we were away, I think it was in Castle Bellingham, and there was a record shop, maybe, and it was Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. And it was it just sticks in my memory. It won't go out of my memory, you know. So any regrets looking back on the time that you were on stage performing? Would you have done it differently?
Well, I think probably you would think that you would try certain things differently, but
like what?
I don't know. I haven't anything specific in my head at the minute, you know. But I think we just did our best all along.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed everything.
It's a great.
We did.
It's a great.
It was a roller coaster, really.
Yeah, a roller coaster. Yeah.
And we did go see a lot of countries. We got to record in America and Los Angeles, and we just had a great time as well.
Yeah.
And the whole scene has been good. It has been good to us.
Yeah. I think the Eurovision really just started the ball rolling, you know. After that, just things went mental, really, you know, just...
And how did you experience that, things going mental? How did it present itself to you, everything going mad and great, where the blue touch paper is lit, so to speak?
Playing 5 days a week.
5 days a week?
5 nights, I should say.
The gigs just went up.
More gigs. And how far were you travelling to the gigs?
Oh, well, all over Ireland to start with, you know, anywhere.
Donegal to Cork the next night, maybe back up to Donegal after that.
I'd almost guess you wouldn't want to be doing that again.
No, not really.
No. Yeah. I sometimes recall my nationwide days with RTE. They would ring me and say, look, will you go to Sligo or will you go to Cork? And other times and other days I would have done it with great speed and joy. But now I said, I just wouldn't be too fussed on doing that. How difficult was the travelling? Were you young enough for it not to matter? You were strong enough.
Yeah.
You didn't care.
It was great fun. Great.
And had you your own bus?
Own big bus.
Oh, yeah.
All kitted out with airplane seats.
Wow.
Oh, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Great fun.
There was one night, Rowan, we came home from, this is how eager we were. We came home from Donegal and we arrived into Newry, I think, around 4 or 5 in the morning. And we were playing a gig in Dublin, I think, the following week. And this man and me decided to go to Dublin straight after we came home from Donegal to put up posters.
My God.
In Dublin. We drove to Dublin to put up posters.
And then come home again, then go back to the...
Yeah. Well,
the gig
following week.
My goodness.
But we were keen, I can tell you.
Going around Dublin in the van at like 6, 7 in the morning before the traffic really got bad.
You were hammering up posters.
Yeah.
Even put one on the back of one
of the buses.
On a bus that was moving along at the traffic lights.
Have you gone for that even now?
Yeah, running after and get it on.
I'm on the run, I can't go into the south now after that.
I have a letter for the on the runs here last week. But Newry we've always sort of with pride spoken about the talent of Newry, the people who have sung and danced and acted out of Newry. But you're an ingredient in that talent. You are the talent of Newry.
We're very proud of that too.
Certainly.
Good times.
Yeah.
Future, now you're looking ahead. What's going to happen next?
Well, the whole scene is completely different, and you're right, we wouldn't like to be back travelling Ireland 4 or 5 nights a week. But we're still playing, and we're still together, and we're still rehearse and enjoy our music. A wee bit more selective, I think, now, the gigs and that, you know.
Where do you do your rehearsing?
Well, I have a recording studio out at home, you see, and we do some rehearsing.
Still in Newry?
Yeah.
Might be nice for us to come and film you with a camera out in the studio and see a little bit of that happening. Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
We should definitely do that, and we will do that. We will do that. So a typical gig nowadays would be what for you?
Well, it's more corporate functions that we would do now.
Yeah.
You know.
And even weddings.
Yeah, weddings as well, but the corporate functions like the likes of the Europa, so it's a nice setup. It's really nice.
But you're moving into an environment which you're ultimately hugely entitled to move into. You know, it's up to your standard, and the Europa is there. It's beautiful, and you're gracing the Europa with your excellence, and that's how it should be.
I think as long as we're still enjoying our music, and we are, you know, it's not like if you're a footballer, you'd have retired long ago.
Yeah, you'd have the broken, the twisted bones. Yeah.
Brittle bones.
Yeah. What's the technique that makes, I have three of you here, I can ask the question, what makes a man or a woman a singer? Like when you sing, you guys sing, it's just, wow, it's like honey in your ears. It's beautiful.
I don't know.
But when I sing, it's like
too much wax in my ears right now.
When I sing, it's like scratching my nails on a slate, you know.
But you always sound like that to yourself, you say.
Yeah.
But maybe everybody else thinks you're a beautiful singer, Rowan.
No, I wouldn't think so. No, I wouldn't think so. Not at all.
It's something within you, isn't it? Just
confidence is in there as well.
Well,
yeah, because you couldn't do it if you weren't marvelously confident in what you're doing.
Well, I don't know if confidence, you may be confident in what you do, but
yes,
it doesn't
that's what I'm
necessarily mean in your sort of persona or
no,
everyday life.
but I think when the mic light goes for you, when it's on, I think you change. You become a different person almost.
It's just do or die.
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it indeed. And the songs you're singing at the moment, what are they as an idea?
Well, we're back to doing more covers because they suit more of
What does covers mean? I don't understand the lingo.
You're covering something that's been done before.
Ah, yes, yeah.
So basically, we're doing songs that people at weddings that they want to hear, a lot of the oldies and different things like that.
And that's going from country, pop, rock.
Yeah,
but we still do some up-to-date, you know, chart stuff. We mix that in as well, so we still rehearse, you know.
And is there a couple of lines of a verse of a song that even in this imperfect setting, you guys could sing now? Just a couple of lines. Something to give us a lovely warm feeling of Luv Bug.
Well, I tell you what, we'll hold that one for whenever you come to one of our gigs.
Or to the studio.
Or the studio.
My going to gigs are long.
It's too early in the day, you know, for the old
I'll you there as well.
That'll be great. So we will make the arrangement to go to the studio and enjoy the studio with you.
No problem.
So thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
you've been great.
Thank you, Ron.
It's been good fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, we need to go to the studio and see you and hear you.
Sure.
And get the feeling of
You
it.
can come down Hill Street next week.
What are you doing?
On St. Patrick's Day.
Wow, we'll be filming you there.
We're playing.
Yeah, that's great.
1:30 sharp.
Half past one
what
sharp.
time
St.
we
Patrick's,
start at.
Yeah. And we've all your contact numbers and things like that.
No problem.
And if, as a consequence of this, in Manhattan or in Mayo Bridge or in Baghdad or Ballyholland, just make the contact and Luv Bug will be yours for a modest consideration. We'll do this. Hey. Good. Thanks very much indeed. Go well. Take care. All the best, darling. Take care. All the best to you. Take care. Max, all the best to you. Take care.